The opinions expressed in this show do not necessarily reflect the views of Tampa Bay Arts and Education Network.
Hello everyone, and welcome to the award-winning Connecting with Kim here on Tampa Bay Arts and Education Network. I'm your host, Kim Droege, and we're so glad you joined us today because we have another great episode coming up. But before we get to that, I want to ask you to like and follow the Instagram, Facebook, and X account for Connecting with Kim, because guess what? There you can find out all about the guests, the broadcast schedule, my on-air wardrobe, which everybody wants to know about, which is provided courtesy of the Spring of Tampa Bay, their thrift store on North Willow here in Tampa. And the net proceeds from the thrift store help support their mission of providing safe spaces and empowering services to survivors of domestic violence. And they've been doing that for 4 decades and doing a wonderful job of it. So I want you to go and shop there because you cannot believe all the little gems I find. You see them on the show. So we also want to say you can catch the audio of our show on Sun Radio Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 3:30 in the afternoon, and that's at 96.3 FM and on your favorite streaming platform. So tune in. If you can't watch the show, then tune in. And you can also catch our show at watch.tbae.net anytime it's convenient for you once the show is up. Even though we have a broadcast schedule, sometimes I know some of you, because you text me late at night and say, I just watched the show. So I know you went to the streaming platform to watch it. So we really appreciate that. So I'm so excited because I have a wonderful guest in the chair today. And you know I love all my guests because they're always such fun, interesting people. But I want to introduce you to Amber Aaron, who is the Executive Vice President of the Brandon Chamber of Commerce. Welcome, Amber, to Connecting with Kim.
Thank you. Thanks for having me here.
It's our pleasure. We're looking forward to it. So we'd like you to take a few minutes at the top of the show to share your life journey with our watchers and listeners, because you just never know when somebody out there shares something in common with you. So there you go.
Yeah. So I have been at the Chamber for 20 years. This year it makes 20 years, and I've grown up in Tampa, so I'm a Tampa native, and I live over in the Brandon-Seffner area. I've worked I started out actually typing the white pages of the phone book for the Chamber when I was 17 years old.
Wow.
and then went on to hold pretty much every position there, and I really just enjoy the Chamber, that it is such a passion of mine that I get, to experience different days, every day. It's never the same.
No.
I get to be there when businesses are opening their business, when they're, holding the scissors and they're achieving their American dream. And that's just what's really exciting to me. I mean, and it goes from one day to another of, hosting a candidate hobnob to, doing ribbon cuttings, or hosting the state attorney's debate the other last week. So, it goes from a lot of different things, but it really, to me, it is my, passion to serve the community and to be part of our community and really serve businesses, because my grandparents were entrepreneurs. My dad was a small business owner, and so it's near and dear to my heart to really serve the business community in that way.
I had no idea until just now. I mean, I've known you for a while, but I had no idea that you started at the Chamber at 17 years old typing the white pages. I mean, so it obviously is a passion for you, and your commitment is to be applauded, that you made a career of something that you love so much and you're so passionate about.
I do. That I actually just graduated from the Institute of the U.S. Chamber, so it's the Institute for Organizational Management. It's a 4-year-long program. and achieved my IOM for Institute of Organizational Management. I really enjoyed the classes, but you meet people from all over the country that are running chambers or that are in the chamber profession, and get to learn how they're doing things for their communities and for their business owners. And it's really been an eye-opening experience for me, and to receive my designation of IOM.
Congratulations. I'm so happy for you. Well, the chamber has been in business for how many years now? 40 or more?
Almost 65.
65. Okay. So the chamber's been in business for 65 years, and there's been a lot of changes in 65 years.
Oh yeah, just in my 20, there's been a lot of changes.
Yeah. What would you say in your 20 years at the Brandon Chamber? What would you say is the biggest things that's changed?
Kind of the business that we were doing. So the chamber had a phone book for many years.
Right.
The chamber was our chamber was known for this Brandon area directory that was kind of the center of our chamber. And now the directory's gone away with the relevancy of the telephone book. That now we do just chamber work. We don't have a big building. We're not landlords anymore. That we just do chamber work. We do programming for our chamber members to give them exposure to their businesses and to make sure that they're getting the best value and experience and can connect with the community as well.
So how many members of the chamber are there currently?
There's about 400.
400 members, okay. And and they run the gamut from, different kinds of business, right?
Oh, yes. Yeah, so we have from nonprofit to solo entrepreneurs, and even the larger businesses that are our large employers in the area, like Advent Health, HCA, and those type of businesses.
And I know that you run once a year, I believe it's once a year, you run a gala, and you different businesses are nominated in different categories for awards. So talk about that a little bit, because I think people ought to know that.
So our Chamber Member Awards, this is where we have 5 different categories for businesses that we really want to recognize people that are doing great business in our community, and that we want to showcase them, whether it's how they're giving back to the community or just the great service that they provide. And so we have a nonprofit category, a small, medium, and large category, and then we also have an emerging business category. And we come together once a year and celebrate the finalists, give them a video so that they've got a promotion out there, and then also to actually name them the Business of the Year in that category.
I know. I attended your last one, and it was so much fun. And I became aware of some businesses that I didn't know about because of your different categories, and you feature each of the finalists, and you do nice little videos about them, and then everyone knows who they are, and then finally one of them gets the award. It was really a nice affair. I enjoyed it so much.
Thank you. That and actually, we don't judge the awards because we want an unbiased opinion there.
Right.
So we send the award applications out to the people that are in my institute class for the U.S. Chamber. And so we let other chamber professionals that are not in this area, that do not know these businesses, be the judges for those awards.
Oh, I didn't know that. So thank you for sharing that. That's very interesting. I wondered how the finalists and the person who finally won the award were chosen. So that's a very good way, because now it's totally unbiased.
Yes.
Oh, and is it based on those videos that you make of them and their business?
It's based on their application, and we have a rubric that we use for the application, and then the video is just more of a showcase so that you can get to know them, their business, when you're at the event.
So before we launch into 2 specific programs that I wanted you to talk about today, let's just give a feel for what does the chamber do on a monthly basis for their, for their members. What kind of things do you run? What kind of events besides ribbon cuttings? I know ribbon cuttings happen all the time.
We have our, we've just developed a new weekly networking event that we're calling BYOB, and that is to bring your own business and or bring your own breakfast, however you want to say it. But it really is a programming where we've got some icebreakers. We'll have some great informational speakers, and people get to give their 30-second elevator speech. And so we're doing that weekly on Tuesdays from 7:45 to 9 over at Center Place, right there in the heart of Brandon. And then we do a quarterly luncheon. And so our next one is December 5th for that, and we're always doing topics about any kind of hot button transportation, that anything with housing or the education, things that people really want to know about, and safety, things that really matter to their business. And then we're also doing a Good Morning Brandon now. So it's kind of an arm from our Government Affairs Committee. And our next one is going to be talking about the school millage, so for the Hillsborough County school millage, and the referendum on the ballot for that, and also the school board candidates for the countywide race, District 7.
So you do a lot of things on a regular basis, and the programs will be topical to whatever is happening at the time, affecting not local government as well as the businesses, right?
That's correct.
Okay, good. All right, well, I want to talk about two specific programs that you do, and we'll start with Leadership Brandon, because I know there's a lot of many chambers do different kind of leadership programs, and I know that this is your 40th year of Leadership Brandon. So help everyone understand, what is Leadership Brandon and why is it so important? And in full disclosure, I am doing Leadership Brandon this year with the Brandon Chamber of Commerce. So,
and we're so happy you are.
well, I really appreciate that. So tell us about Leadership Brandon.
So Leadership Brandon is our flagship program for the chamber. It really is. That 40 years when some board of directors got together and they came up with this program. The reasoning was really multifaceted, because that it not only draws in leaders to lead our chamber, but also to lead our community and to show people, what are the services offered in our community. How can you serve your community better? And to add professional development for business owners, so they can send their staff or leaders just to have hone in on their skills and to, and then to build a network of people that are your lifelong friends. So I think, they had some real smart people in the room when they developed this program, and I'm glad that it's been going on for 40 years now, because I'm a graduate of the 2005 program, Class with Drive, because they all have their mottos with them. So I know you'll be coming up with yours
we
soon.
haven't selected our motto yet, but we will. We've tossed around some ideas, but
yeah, it just really does, take you on day session trips where you're learning about, your emergency services for the area, your county government, your social issues, how can you give back into the, right places that are right in your community, and then a trip to Tallahassee as well. So it really is a program that, we take alumni from the program, put them on a committee, and then they develop all of these day sessions from their experiences, from other class experiences, and so you're getting, from people that have been in the class for 20 years that have done all these different experiences, and they're all building those in. That's why your days are so jam-packed.
Well, and also people should understand, this is not hit it and quit it. This is a 9-month program, basically. It's like it's like going to school.
Yes.
And you start in the fall, and then you get done in the spring, just like school. And there's and it's it's once a month, right?
Yes.
Each month is devoted to something else, right? Some other topic.
It is. Yeah. So that's why you'll have your education day, your law enforcement day, your government day, which will be the Tallahassee trip. And so each day will be focused on a certain subject, but will jam pack in different speakers, different businesses, and really highlighting services that are available in the Brandon area, and what makes this economy work, and how you can better yourself, and make those personal connections as well.
If you're just joining Connecting with Kim here on Tampa Bay Arts and Education Network and Sun Radio, our guest in the chair today is Amber Aaron, who is the Executive Vice President of the Brandon Chamber of Commerce. And right now we're talking about Leadership Brandon, which is a program that has been going on for 40 years. And we're talking about the ins and out of it. And it's a 9-month program. Yours truly is participating this year. And so let me, and you start out, so I want you to know, so you start out, the first session is you get a personality analysis, is basically what happens. And it's a professionally done service. So let's talk about a little bit about that, how that happens and why it's important.
Sure. So it is the DISC behavioral assessment, and we have Carol Gill that comes in, and she's with Carol Gill Consulting. She's a business coach, and she's actually been with our program for I would say almost 20 years of facilitating this assessment to the class members, and it's just a way for you to learn how to deal with other people's behavioral styles and learn a lot about your own as well. That some things that you may have not noticed focused about yourself. And I know that, even people in marriages have used the DISC assessment to say, now we can communicate better, knowing these things about us, that we know how to, just better communicate and know, what your style is. And I think that, it's just kind of eye-opening for people that have never taken those types of assessments before.
In my professional background with IBM, I had taken assessments like that in the past, obviously. But what was really interesting about this is you do it so before your first session with your teammates, everybody going through a leadership Brandon with you. In this case, it's like 20 people. And you take this on the computer and you answer questions. And the questions keep getting posed in different, because they want to make sure that you're not
are you really
are you really and the questions keep getting posed to you from different perspectives with different language and so on and so forth, and you keep choosing the answer that best. And so at the end you come out, there's 4 quadrants of this DISC assessment, and you come out when you're first meeting your other classmates for the first time. You're spending half a day with them, you're having lunch and you're spending half a day, and you're handed your assessment. And it's so funny because, when I was handed my assessment, I was like, yep, that is who I am, right? That is who I am. And I think pretty much, you were there, I think pretty much everybody in the room was like, yep, that's who I am.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What was yours?
I'm ID.
Okay.
I'm ID. So I'm like, yeah, and I knew that was me. And this is promptly followed up the second day by a team building. You spend the whole day together at Camp Christina in is that Riverview or Gibson's in there?
It's Riverview.
Riverview. You spend the whole next day at team building exercises and spending more time analyzing the DISC and understanding where you fit and how you work with your other, not only your other teammates and in leadership, Brandon, because now some important, let's talk about that too, because you don't just I'm not going to go through this and learn all this stuff. You have to actually do a project. Right. So let's talk about that.
Yes, so the legacy project is really important to the leadership brand, and we've had several legacy projects that we've tried to make it where it is something that leaves a lasting impact on a nonprofit business. So the class comes together and they decide on a project, and that could be building a butterfly garden at the Rotary Park for children, or it has last year they built a food forest over at HCC for the college students there. Some things have been like hosting Brandon's biggest baby shower for the pregnancy center. So they've had all of these ideas. They've even done food drives and things like that. But now we've made it more of something that has a lasting impact and will be there for a long time. So the class just comes together and tries to figure out well, okay, if you're good at fundraising and if you're good at what your key skills are, how can we best pull this project off to make a lasting impact on a nonprofit for Brandon. And so that is a benefit of being a chamber member, is that you get to be chosen to have one of those projects be done at your organization.
So you guys better understand this. I happen to know that very soon we are getting together for this day featuring nonprofits, and they come in and they pitch to the group, and then we're going to get together as a team, right? And we have to, choose our slogan, and we're even electing class officers and all that kind of stuff. But we come together and we decide what project we're going to do, legacy project. And believe me, this is going to be, people are going to be assigned tasks. It's going to be tracked because we have to deliver this project by the end of it, right?
Yes. So the project is due in May when the graduation is to commence. So it is right now a great time to start planning and get everything underway so that and make that choice, because there's so many nonprofits that you could do so much good for. That is really, that's going to be your toughest decision is who you choose.
But they're going to come in and pitch what they're most interested in, right?
Yes.
Okay, good. So we're not like trying to find something out of the blue.
No, they're going to give you their needs and what can be done for them. So you're not just coming up on your own because it's not really a fundraiser. It's something.
No, it's an actual
project. That, some of them have even been. We've rebuilt an infirmary over at the Camp Rotary Park before. So it was construction that we did a turned a garage into a career center for the Mary Martha House as well.
So I wanted everyone to understand that these legacy projects that each leadership branding class does, and each leadership branding class has its own motto, its own tagline, so to speak, and you do real stuff, and you leave a lasting from your group. And it's not, we're not kidding around. I mean, you identify the project, you got to raise funds for it, you got to do whatever is necessary to get the project, know. So I'm really looking forward to that.
Yes.
Yeah, our day's coming up. So is there anything else you want to share about leadership branding? I mean,
The applications will be open in May once this class graduates, but I'm really excited about, the 2025 class and it being our 40th year and having that celebration that, with COVID, we've had some smaller classes in the past 3 years, and this is our largest class in 3 years.
So we're kind of getting back.
So we're getting back
COVID,
to it.
Because I know some of the classes in the past have been, and I think sometimes if you get too big of the class, you can't arrive at any decisions because the class is too big.
That and just getting into facilities is always a challenge as well.
Exactly.
When you bring a group of 30 to somewhere, then you got to split up in a bunch of groups, and you don't get the same exact experience.
Right. I love the size of our group because we all fit around the conference table very nicely, right? And you can see everybody and talk to everybody, and it's really. And I found that the distribution of the four quadrants was very interesting too. So we're really top heavy with D's and I's.
Yeah,
and not so much of the others, but
right.
we'll get there.
It is a lot like that because people that want to do leadership programs, normally have those types of personalities.
Yeah, right.
So I can see that, but I also want to thank Sunny Moreno as being the co-chair. That she will be the chair for the 2026 class, and Susie Gay that she is the chair for this year from South State Bank, and that she is out at the helm and ready to lead.
Yeah, they're both wonderful. They're both wonderful. Okay, so we only have about 5 minutes left, so I want to cover also a series. It started out as a monthly thing, now it's kind of changing to a quarterly thing, but I still think it's an important program, so I wanted to talk about Brandon's Wonder Woman.
Yeah, so Brandon's Wonder Woman started about 2 years ago, and that this is a great program of the Brandon Chamber that we host once a month at the Regent, and the second Wednesday of each month, and we bring all types of topics to like-minded women. That our next one is talking about some health topics, and so we'll have a panel of 4 different providers that are all women providers in health and wellness industry, talking about the trends and things that are concerning to women, to keep them, healthy and young and beautiful. And so each time we focusing on a topic that is relevant to women. We have vendor tables set up for shopping that at each event, and it really just is fun, energetic, and I always enjoy it for October and November, and then we're going to go quarterly in January.
Right.
So
I knew
2025.
I knew it's transitioning because I've attended the Wonder Women monthly sessions whenever I could. A lot of times they fall on Wednesdays on the days I'm filming, so it's impossible for me to get there and then get here and do everything I need to do. But I am so grateful when it's on a Wednesday that I can attend and I can come to the next one. So I'm so really thrilled about that. Plus, you all give wonderful door prizes.
Yes, the door prizes are great. The breakfast is good. The company is even better.
Yeah, the company's even better. I really want to give a shout out there to all of you listening and watching. If you have not attended one of the Brandon Wonder Women sessions, you really should try to do it. And like Amber said, in 2025, they are going to switch to being a quarterly program instead of monthly. But you should really try to get there because it's always interesting topics. It's always wonderful women. There's always, I love the vendor tables. And I feel, I get there at 8 o'clock at the Regent and we're over by 9:30 or so. And I feel like it was a great use of my time.
Yes, it really is. When we get about anywhere from 35 to 50 women that are coming to these events, and always great topics, and we value what your input of the topics you want to hear about as well. So we'll introduce more topics in the quarterly sessions, and we're always looking for anybody that wants to be a presenter at these events. Then there's an opportunity there too.
We only have a couple minutes left, and I know that you would like to make an appeal directly or share any kind of direct information about the chamber that you want to. So I want to give you that opportunity now to look into your camera and reach out to those folks out there watching and listening.
Well, thank you for having me here, and I just wanted to say that the Greater Brandon Chamber of Commerce, focuses on our 3 pillars of, collaboration, connection, and community. And we value your business and really want you to consider joining or being a part of the chamber, engaging more, and also our new program coming in December this year. It's a collaboration with the Valrico Fishhawk Chamber, and we are going to be hosting Brandon's first Christmas parade. That it's December 14th at 5:30, and it starts over on Parsons, over by the Brandon Hospital, and we'll run west on Oakfield Drive. And we are looking for sponsors and parade applicants. This is going to be a really great opportunity for you to have exposure for your business, but really participate in a community event that is near and dear to our hearts. This is the first time that we're hosting an annual Christmas parade, and we really want you to be a part of it.
And you're hoping to make it a yearly tradition.
Yes.
And I love the collaboration with Valrico Fishhawk, because that whole area has changed so much over the last I'd say 10, 15 years. I mean, it's just not the same area it used to be. And so I love the collaboration.
Yes, it has really worked out well that we've got, really strong leaders that are working together, and that's what we've divided up the tasks, because there's a lot that goes into a parade.
Yeah.
But we're really excited about it, and our deadline for applications is November 1st. So if you want to be in the parade, then
I know you'll be all over social media about it, right? So,
yes.
Well, we're out of time, Amber, but I want to thank you for being my guest today on Connecting with Kim. So if you're just joining us right now, my guest was the Executive Vice President of the Brandon Chamber of Commerce, Amber Aaron. And I encourage you to, if you are in considering chamber membership, consider the Brandon Chamber, because they are a great group of people, and they do a lot of interesting programs and monthly affairs. And I thank you so much for being on Connecting with Kim.
Thank you for having me.
My pleasure. So that's pretty much all we have time for today, but we want you to follow our Instagram, Facebook, and X account so you can find all the latest information about our show. Again, you can catch our show on Sun Radio Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 3:30, 96.3 FM, and on your favorite streaming platform. And we want you to come back next week, because we always have great programs helping you live your best life in our corner of paradise. So thank you, and so long.